How's everyone doing this week?
Amazing.
Good.
Good.
Awesome. So, it's good to have everyone back. Good to start off a new campaign. Before we do so, and before I go into a bit of a brief history of the situation and what's going on, does anyone have anything they want to bring up?
Jason needs to put his camera on.
No, I'm not in the right angle for it.
Do I need to deal with that?
Yeah, but peer pressure, though.
Always the answer.
I'm never once about a peer pressure. I pressure peers, not the other way around.
So, anything else before we get started?
No, let's just get started.
Someone's excited.
Alright. So I will start at first and focus on two of the members that aren't part of the original group. First we'll go with Owen. Owen, you know your family history and the situation that happened with your family when the orcs and goblins attacked. You have been chasing down rumors and tracking down these goblins, and every stage along the path that you've been searching for answers, you've heard a little bit more about how these goblins and orcs were connected to some giant activity recently. And
Right.
maybe they were working with or working for. You don't know quite yet, but one of the things that you did hear is that in the mountains just to the... Pull up the map real quick again. Remember where I put this mountain.
It's embarrassing to lose a whole mountain.
I know, right? Okay. So, this is one of the mountains side along the spine of the world, the north. Kind of close to the area of the Fell Pass. It's north of Mithril Hall. That kind of area. You've been following the orcs heading up to this zone. And this is where your latest intel brings you. You end up stood in front of this enormous opening into the side of the mountain, and strangely enough, all you see in the opening is just a iron staircase that just seems to spiral down.
Right.
Now, that aside, we'll jump to Gamil. Gamil, you've been doing your trade, working through your city, trying to develop this new method of combat in particular, and you're getting some ideas down, and you've got a plan for something, but it needs you to go out and get a few more particular ingredients, maybe some experience, see what kind of things happen outside in the world before you're absolutely ready to put these new weapons to good use. You went to your town elders looking for help and ideas of where you could go to almost prove yourself and your equipment. They mentioned that recent travelling and recent activity up in the north has revealed an old tomb, and so it's not been travelled much. You might as well go and try visit up there, see what's down there, and see if you can learn anything about your trade. And you arrive up to the similar point in the mountaintop with the huge opening just a couple hours that Owen does.
And is Owen camped out, so I run into him there?
I would think so. It's only going to be a matter of hours between everyone arriving.
I see.
The gods have arranged it such.
I see.
I can imagine Owen's actually going to be working up the courage to go in. I take it from the description, it sounds quite ominous.
In particular, you notice that the iron staircase appears to be vibrating every couple minutes. Almost like something big and booming from down the tunnel is causing it to vibrate up the shaft.
Right.
I imagine while Owen is staring and looking at these steps, he hears a voice next to him. Those are some well-constructed steps, but they should not be vibrating like that.
Owen just jumps a little bit and just frowns a little bit nervously down at the dwarf and says, "So, who are you?"
Oh, my name's Gamel Silversmith. Who are you?
He seems to calm a little bit, and his eyes just return to the stairs. "My name's Owen Blackthorn. I didn't think I'd see anybody else up here. The place is deserted."
I'm surprised to find you too. That's what I'd heard. Nice quivers. You notice Gamel has a cloak on and a whole bunch of crossbows strapped to his legs, strapped to his back, different sizes. So his comment about your arrows does not seem out of place.
Owen just nods slightly in appreciation, but he just suddenly doesn't seem interested in talking. He just continues staring at the stairs.
Well, and with that, Gamel as well just falls into a steady silence and examines the stairs.
And with that, we fade to black, and white text comes across the screen 1 month ago. We lighten back up to Loic in his studies, going over papers, reading, learning a little bit more about something that is absolutely fascinating and he needs to master right now. Loic, you've been hearing these rumors of the giant attacks. In particular, you heard about Bryn Shander being decimated. And so you inquired a little bit more about, well, what's the current state of it? Why is it like that? Is there any sort of humanitarian aid going to Bryn Shander for help and whatnot? And you were actually informed from the leaders of Silvery Moon. You were in council with some of the leaders. They mentioned to you that they've been gathering reports of giants in different clans moving outside their territories and venturing a lot further than they should. Fire giants destroyed Bryn Shander. Frost giants were recently seen attacking the city of Tribor, which is just a week or so away from Silvery Moon, not too far. You know of cloud giants having attacked a small city just off of Neverwinter. And so these organized attacks by each different place seem to be, by all reports, the giants are searching for something. Now, by all records, they're not searching for one specific thing, they're all just trying to collect stuff. Almost like each one's trying to get the next biggest magical item that will make them powerful. One thing in particular is you hear that there was a city not far from Silvery Moon that cloud giants had come along, dropped boulders and destroyed it, and just grabbed some mystical item out of the town and flew off. And so one person has actually approached you and said, I know of a location that has 3 very powerful legendary magical items that if the giants get their hands on them, would cause a lot of problem. Would you be willing to gather some people and go and keep those items away from the giants?
Who's this person talking to me? What kind of credibility do they have?
He works in the Vault of Sages.
Just a random wizard fellow that's affiliated with college?
One of the higher-ups, really. He knows that you're of good standing. You're trustworthy in matters of magical nature, but kind of looks over the fact that you haven't technically graduated.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, you know that I'm not actually part of the college anymore.
Yes, but we also know you, whatever the means, you get the job done.
It's true enough. What, have you spoken to the council?
Yes, they feel like you would be a good first attempt at things like this.
So what do I get if I do this for you guys?
You can keep anything you find there. Just keep those things out of the giants' hands. That's all we really care about.
Do you have more information on the items then?
We don't know specifically what each of them do. We only know names.
Okay.
These are legendary items of history. They are Well, Wave, and Black Razor.
And have I heard of any of these?
Make a history check. Awesome. You have heard of them. You know that Whelm is a hammer. You know Wave is a trident. And you know Black Razor is a great sword. Yeah, it's a sword. Can't remember right now which one it is. You don't know too much detail about them and their particular powers, only that they are very powerful, in the range of +3 magical items.
Do I have any idea why they would be randomly together in a dungeon?
You know that they were collected by one Caraptus.
And do I have any idea?
The legend of Caraptus, quick summary, over a millennium ago, the wizard Caraptus rose to power in the valleys of the northern mountains. He was powerful and more or less neutral. He wasn't good, wasn't really bad, but because of the way he collected his power, he was seen as more of a tyrant. As his people descended away from him, he eventually was killed, and his items were locked away within his hidden tomb. That's as much as you know right now.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. No promises yet, but if you give me a minute to think about it, I'm going to return to the vault, and I'm going to see what I can see about this dungeon, and see if there's anything that I, in particular, could help you with, as opposed to any other mage that is actually affiliated with the college and has more pull with people. I know maybe, like, one guy, but, yeah, I'll see what I can do. And I'll get his name and contact info and stuff. Mm-hmm. And do I know where Taemon's been hanging out at?
He left you just not long ago to go and spend some time with druids. And so you know the area that he went to, and you know you could go and collect him. You also know that Lael is with her family. She's in the area of Silvery Moon, but she's been spending all of her time with her family. So you'd have to go and collect her. And then if you wanted to get Erin's assistance as well, you would know that he is in a cottage up north of Neverwinter.
Okay, so Lael's closest, followed by
south of
Taemon,
Neverwinter.
probably, and then Erin.
Okay.
First, I'm going to see what I can see, what the Vault of Sages has to say about this particular dungeon that this Caraptus guy created. Anything else about it involving what kind of magics could be located in it. If anyone's ever come back from it, where it is even, would be helpful.
They can give you a location of it because it was recently unearthed. The opening of it was unearthed, and so they lead you to that. They give you a map to that particular area. The information about the mountain itself, the tomb, they don't know too much about what's in there, only that it's most likely trapped with quite a few different traps, but Caraptus was not a completely their kind of person. So sometimes he would do things just because. It wouldn't really have much reason, so there might be things in the tomb that just don't make sense at all.
Alrighty.
One of the reasons why they entrust you a little bit more than anyone else is just because of your adventures recently in the Underdark. They trust your abilities against the kinds of monstrosities and monsters that they expect deep within the mountains.
That makes sense. To some degree. Okay, so I'm going to send a sending spell Taemon's way, so I don't have to try to locate him. I'm going to tell him that Silvery Moon is a prospect for us. Meet me at the door of the Vault of the Sages. And I'm going to go get Lael.
Okay. Doesn't take you long to find Lael.
Is me knocking on?
Yeah, she's actually talking to you, Lael. Go ahead.
The door opens and there is a red-headed gnome standing there. And he looks you up and down. He smiles warmly and goes, "Ah! Greetings! How can I help you today?"
I'm looking for Lady Layla Stray. Is she in?
Can I have a name? A name, please?
Loic.
He picks this book from his side and flicks through. I don't have a Loic down on this list. I have something open for her next week though. Can you come back?
I just smile at him and go invisible. Walk past him.
Where'd you go?
Go find
He
her.
wouldn't have noticed at all. Like, he wouldn't notice you passing him. You're now inside Lael's house. Invisible.
Start hunting her down. Start exploitating that first floor.
You quickly find Lael. She's just in a study-like room. There's a young man with her, and they just seem to be overlooking a map, talking quietly to themselves.
Very, very silently take a couple steps back out through the doorway, and then stop being invisible, and then give a little tap on the door, and then come around the corner.
Loic.
Hi. How are you?
Well, what are you doing here?
I have been propositioned by Silvermoon to look into something. They said me, and by extension we, would be well equipped to handle this thing. I've informed Taman. I'm going to brief her. I would like to brief everyone at the same time. So if you are interested, I know that we all have our own things that we're doing right now. I personally also have my own thing. But if you are interested, there are some stirrings afoot out yonder. We don't know the cause of it, but it involves meandering giants and devastation and very strange actions. If you are at least interested, then you can come with me to the Vault of the Sages, where I will be talking to Taman. If not, then, whatever. Free country. Free city.
I need to know a little bit more than there is something interesting. I've got interests here now, and my work is quite important for the future of my family.
Alright. Well, I'll give Taman your regards. And if you change your mind, you'll know where to find us.
Very well.
You leave Lael's house. Are you going to be going to contact Aaron at all, or just wait and... Are you going to fetch Aaron, or am I?
Well, the idea was to get Taman and Lael together, and then head that direction. Where's the dungeon relative to Neverwinter?
So, everyone can see the map of the north. So you're up here in Silvermoon. You know that the location you've been told about is somewhere up here, near the Fell Pass. But Aaron's cottage that he's in is down here, correct?
It's not on the way.
No.
Facing Krypton.
Well, I don't have anything particularly enticing to make him come out of his home in this situation in order to cross the Evermoors to get to Silvermoon to just listen to this thing I got. Okay. So I don't think Loic is particularly compelled.
Where's Taman?
He's with some druids. I'm not sure
In the
exactly
Moonwood.
the location. In the Moonwood. There we go.
Right.
So, in the meantime, while you are waiting for Taman to... So, Taman, you get a message from Loic. I'm assuming you would have kind of gotten everything up and headed to Silvermoon?
Yep.
So, while those three are gathering together, Aaron, you are approached by Gora, right? That's his name, yeah?
Yeah.
As he is the leader of the Hunters Guild in the area that you're in, which is the Neverwinter kind of area, he's taken over it. He's asked you to go and investigate rumours of this dungeon up in the Fell Pass.
Okay.
The information he has given you is that he believes it has something to do with the giants rampaging around the area, and thinks you may be able to not only help the situation, but also he thinks this will give you an opportunity to gain more control and more ability to stretch your legs out.
So he's come up to the cottage. So first thing he's going to do is Aaron and Duan are going to be in the middle of fixing the cottage up. He's happy to see him, but he's kind of apprehensive as well. He knows that this is going to be a duty calls kind of thing. He's going to regard Gora and just say, it's good to see you, friend. You dragged me away from my wife and child so soon.
If I trusted anyone else with this task, I would. I'd go to them.
You might need to explain it to Osrin now.
I will. I'll speak to Osrin.
Come, you must be hungry after your journey. Let's go inside.
So you go in, you have a wonderful meal with him, and he sits Osrin down privately and talks. You don't quite hear the conversation that they have. A moment later, you do hear a loud, as someone's struck the other person. You're not sure who. And then she comes out, stern look on her face, and walks up to you and she says, I understand. I want to go, but I have to stay. Just don't you dare die out there. If you die, I will bring you back and kill you myself.
Okay. You got my word. He looks at her lovingly and gives her a hug, and then basically says, I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay. Kiss Duan Jr. before you leave.
I will kiss Duan Jr. before I leave. And
then you see Gora step out, and he's got this huge red mark on his face.
Yeah. I'll get you some ice for that. It's cold outside, and we'll pack some ice. But we'll put him up in the guest room. I'll spend a nice night with wife and child, and then I'm going to have a conversation with Duan Senior to make sure he's looking after them while I'm away. And I'm off, I suppose.
Alright, so you head off, and it takes you about a month and a half to get to where you're going, travelling as quick as you can, to the location mentioned, and that's where you find a human and a dwarf stood outside.
Hail.
Gamel and Owen, you see this well-armed half-elf striding up through the forest, up to this pass, with purpose in his eyes.
Owen just he almost jumps out of his skin and just automatically he just whips out a bow, just a crude long bow, and draws a shaft ready to fire at whatever's confronting them. His eyes
Put it
wide.
down, boy, before you hurt yourself.
Owen just sort of, his eyes narrow a bit, and he's just sort of breathing through his nose quite heavily, but he sort of edges a step back.
My friend Dwarf, do you want to tell your friend to calm himself? I mean,
he's not my friend. But nice armor.
Is that to me?
Yeah, that's to you.
Nice crossbows.
Thanks.
Owen just sort of blinks and lowers the bow and just shakes his head and just in a rush says, I'm sorry, sir. You frightened me is all. I thought you was an oak.
Well, I'll try not to get offended by that. What are you two doing up there?
Beg your pardon, I was looking for someone, but then I came to this dead end here, you see, and he just sort of points towards the stairs, and I think there's something big up there.
You've been following somebody? Aaron's going to look around for tracks quickly. Does he see anything that he notices?
Nothing recent. Not up this way. Anyways.
I've just come this way for an opportunity to do some exploring and see if my newest crossbows can handle the rigors of real-world application. That brought me here.
Real-world what?
Application. It's all very good when you're just doing some engineering schematics, but once you actually make something, you got to see if it actually works.
Owen sort of winces and scratches his head a little bit.
You're a smith?
Oh, I am a dwarf, So
Most of your
that pretty much is the default.
I've met some good ones.
I am an armorer of some note, though just locally.
I have the skill of smithing myself. We must talk at some point.
Oh, indeed. Did you make your armor?
Not this set. Previous sets. This one came to me from a dragon.
That is a story I would definitely want to hear, probably at a later time. We'll talk smithing and dragons over a pint.
Indeed.
Now, moving over, Gideon. Everything is white. Streams of black and blue and red and all colours start to fly past your sight in a flurry, almost throwing you dizzy. And you find yourself forced through this ethereal means by some force. And you're thinking constantly as this is going over the past couple days and your situation that put you here. And next thing you know, you land face first inside a bushel of apples in this big, huge tree. You hit into it, stumble a little bit, and then fall on the ground and shrug yourself off. You are okay. Something's different, but okay. You kind of get a glimpse of your surroundings in your area, and you look just around the corner is a human, a dwarf, and a half-elf, all talking about armor and weaponry and smithing.
So this tall, blonde-haired humanoid, well, human effectively, sort of staggers to his feet and just stops short at the sight of these beings, and just he's got a very scrutinous look about him, but almost just completely bewildered.
Owen's just sort of he raises his bow as if to draw again, but then remembered what happened last time and remembers to lower it. Where did you come from? Yes, in disbelief.
Aaron starts looking around going like, are people falling out of the sky? Because it's...
You wouldn't have seen it fall out of the sky.
It's raining men!
Hallelujah!
So the figure just sort of looks behind himself, down, and then... Me?
Yeah, who else?
Forgive me, I did not expect anyone.
Yeah, me neither, but everybody seems to be sort of congregating around this place all of a sudden.
If one more person shows up, I'm building an inn. Clearly, this is a place that needs an inn.
Well, you got 3 more coming.
Where is this place?
This is Fell Pass. And Owen just sort of frowns and gives him a confused look. He says, don't you know where you are? How did you get here?
I'm afraid I don't recognize anything. Why?
Do you know your name, friend?
Of course, yes. My name is Gideon. I do not understand. Why are you here?
We're all looking at a staircase in the middle of a hill. Why are you here?
Don't know. I had hoped there is somewhere I should be. Do you know of a place called the Spine of the World?
You're there. But these are the mountains. This is the Spine of the World. This is the entrance.
Can you actually see a vast mountain range around me, or is it hidden away?
Oh yeah, from where you are, you can. You're right up against the mountain range, so to see the mountain range is a little bit weird from your position and your angle. But there's a huge mountain looming overhead. You look out to the south, and you can see a vast forest, and you can see the horizon as it bends over.
He seems to sort of look and just take in the enormity of what he's actually got ahead of himself. This is going to take a while.
Owen just sort of steps forward and he looks to Aaron as well, and Aaron and Gideon and just says, my name's Owen. I just didn't expect to see anybody. I haven't seen anybody for weeks.
I did not expect to encounter anyone so soon. What brings you to this place?
Well, I'm Aaron, and I am part of the Hunters Guild, and I have been told there is dangers lurking beneath the depths of this entrance, and I am here to deal with it.
I am Gamel, a member of the Armorers Guild, and I'm here to test some armor and some weaponry.
And how did you know that there was something to test it on?
That there has been some abandoned ruins in this area is generally known to my guild. Nothing in particular, just seemed like a fair testing ground.
Insight check?
Go ahead and insight it. It's true. I mean, he seems honest in what he's saying. This is just a testing ground.
Okay.
I've heard that there are giants around here. Is that true?
If you see one, let me know.
I think you'll be able to see it yourself, sir, if you don't mind me saying. They're pretty big, from what I heard. He says totally seriously.
Pretty big.
I think that's why they're called giants.
So to move this along, I'm going
Pat him on the shoulder.
pass forward to Loic, Lael, and Taman in the Vault of Sages.
Taman, nice to see you again.
You rang?
It did. The city is calling upon us once again. So, you want to come with me in here? And I'll discuss it with you. We need a map. We don't need a map. I'd like to have a map. Does he already know that Bryn Shander has been attacked?
Unless you tell him no.
Okay. So, do you know anything about any giant activity? Have you witnessed anything while you've been out with druids?
We have not.
It's included.
Well, there have been startling reports coming in that there has been a surplus of giant activity that is also abnormal and highly threatening to civilization as we know it, of course, as these things are. I find the map, and I'll put it down on like a little study table, and I'll show him. Bryn Shander has been hit by fire giants.
I interrupt Loic, and I put my finger on his lips. Shh. You had me at threatening civilization.
Let me at least tell you the rest of what's up so I can at least catch you up to speed here. Appreciate the confidence you're going into this with, though. That's morale boosting. So, Bryn Shander, fire giants. Tribor, the south, frost giants. And then we just got a report in that cloud giants have attacked a place outside of Neverwinter. As far as anyone can tell, they're out there trying to find magical items. And it's kind of like a competition for them, or it seems like it's becoming one. We've got some wizards here at the college who happen to know where 3 extremely powerful artifacts are located, and no doubt the giants will be seeking these things. If they obtain them, then it'll definitely not help us in attempting to keep them at bay. So we've been asked to go look at this place, which, by the way, is a place constructed by a dead mad mage named Crituitous. Have you ever heard of the name Crituitous?
Does not ring a bell.
He wasn't like the most evil of evils that he ever eviled. There are some really shady and crazy stories about him, but basically the gist that I got is that he was just insane, which can go both ways in my experience. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, I made a very half-hearted attempt when I went to go get Lael. I went in and I started telling her, and then she kind of just started throwing up the whole, I have obligations, I'm in a house, my family relies on me, yada yada. So I just kind of noped out. If you want to try again, I would not be adverse to having a meat shield along the ride.
You do me great honor with such a lofty title. Let's go chat with Lael, see what she's up to.
Awesome, you've always been so good at talking to people.
In the meantime, Lael, Randall has been kind of softening you up with the... He'd like to go out and see you in action. Sitting around looking over books is great, but so he does kind of spur that light of adventure back into your heart. The idea of serving Elistray out and about does kind of burn a little bit more after his naivety is flowing over you. All right?
As expected.
And then Loic and Taman suddenly arrive at your house to invite you to join them.
Allow me.
Red-haired gnome opens the door again, but on seeing Loic, slams it. Oh! No, not you again. No, you got me in a world of trouble, lads. With your disappearing.
I see you have a reputation.
All I did was step past him.
This time the door opens and Leo is standing there and she's looking quite amused by the whole thing.
Leo! What a nice house you got. This is pretty awesome.
Thank you, it's temporary for the moment.
Do you see Loic? Wherever Loic is on my screen. Do you see Loic? He's back from the dead. What's up with that?
I received Loic's message.
Yeah, I already told her a minute ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for having my back, though.
All right, well, I guess everyone knows what's going on. Leo, did Loic tell you about the exciting opportunity to check out this dangerous dungeon filled with wondrous items?
No. She just raises a brow.
Oh, well, we have an opportunity to go check out this dangerous dungeon with wondrous items. And I don't know what you've been doing since we got out of the Underdark, but it looks like you've had some time to rest. Maybe it's time for some adventure.
Like, just behind her shoulder, you just see this young man just kind of, like, pop up. And he has, like, this, like, face of eagerness. And he's just kind of, like, staring at you.
I go, that guy, he knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, by the way, we get to keep the items if we find them.
Okay.
There's also that.
I'll agree to go. Only because my squire wants me to go. And so I promised him that he could see me in action before we begin his training. But I'm not interested in your items or your dungeon.
The more the merrier. Let's go.
I need a moment to prepare. A day? If you tell me which way to go, I will catch up.
Spell pass.
Do we have time? I don't know.
She can catch up. Spell pass.
The screen
do you have a map?
kind of phases a little bit as you've agreed. And we phase forward through the month, no longer in the memory sequence. We are back real life. The three of you, plus the three retainers in tow, now arrive up, and there's a nice happy little gathering, all stood outside the entryway to the mountain pass.
Aaron! What are you doing here?
Hey!
Nine hells, is everybody just turning up in this location?
Well, you know
I'm
what
telling
this
you,
means.
we need to build an inn. Gotta.
I need to get my tools out. Guys, you must have heard there's something happening here then, I guess. This is the reason you're here, Loic?
Well, yes, as usual, I know everything.
That's what I thought.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. How you been? How's the wife? How's the kid?
You didn't come to the wedding, so...
Yeah.
But...
They looked fine then. How are they now? They still alive?
They're good. Thank
Hey.
you. It's going well. We're just rebuilding Dawn's cottage and taking a break from the busy life in Neverwinter. But the Enclave decided I needed to be here, so you know what it was like. That didn't go well. How are you guys?
Good, good. We spent, we talked at the wedding, spent most of the time in the Underdark. Only been back about a month. Fine. We're fine.
I hear that civilization is being threatened. Anyone else hear that?
Isn't it always?
Good point. Good point.
So I'm going to look at the other three. Sorry, guys. This is Taman, Lady Liao, and Loic. These are main party members that saved us all from the scourge of the Underdark. If you've heard of the tales.
Owen
and
Aaron?
Owen and
Have
Gamel
heard
will
of
have
tales?
heard of a recent incursion of demons on the material plane that was very quickly dealt with, but you don't really know by who or how or
Sure.
kept hush hush.
Owen is just sort of frowning warily at the newcomers and not saying a word.
Taman totally goes right up to Owen and shakes his hand. Hi, I'm Taman. Nice to meet you.
Owen sort of tenses a little bit, but manages to gather enough of his senses just to kind of say, "My name's Owen, sir. Nice to meet you too." But he doesn't really meet his eyes.
So then he moves on to Gamel and says, Hi. Hello, good dwarf. I am Taman.
Hello, pleasure to meet you, Taman. You seem like a good sort.
Right back at you. I admire your beard. It looks very full and lush.
Well, I do grow it. I'm quite young, so it's most don't have a beard this full at my age. Usually it takes 100 years to get this. I did it in 50.
You're right to be proud. It is glorious.
Indeed.
As you're talking amongst yourselves, you see and you hear this rumbling from below, and the iron staircase just shaking a little bit, and then stops.
Aaron will look at Loic. Okay, you probably have more information than I do. Care to fill us in?
At the first word of that sentence, he goes, "Ooh!" and then rushes over to the staircase to examine it.
This staircase curls down into the darkness, straight about 100 foot down.
It's been shaking like that ever since I got here.
I'll nod to acknowledge him. Are we all standing on it?
You're all actually stood just outside the entrance to this hole in the mountain, and this hole in the mountain it's very small. Think The Hobbit when they go into that small little section within the mountain, and in the middle of it is just a random spiral iron staircase that leads down into the depths.
If I put my ear to the ground and listen, can I also hear the vibration from the thing? Is it only happening to the staircase, or is it happening to the ground too?
Make an investigation check. You get a real sense of what's happening. What you can actually sense is very strong water geysers are being exploded, and that's sending vibrations throughout the cavern of whatever cavern setting there is below.
It sounds like a liquid of some kind being taken to a volatile state. I don't think it will compromise the structure of the staircase.
So it's not giants then?
No, not yet. Has anyone got a light to shine down there?
I forget sometimes that you all can't see in the dark.
In fact, Owen is the only person who can't see in the dark.
I'm normal.
And the retainers.
Leo claws her hand and summons dancing lights. Lets it float towards the entrance.
Aaron's going to look at Liao. You not got Dawnbringer?
She points to her hip. She's right here.
Okay.
Taman takes his staff and he puts his hand on the top of it and he casts the light cantrip on it.
So, before we proceed, does everybody know what this is?
No.
Stairway.
I would, that's what I said. Could you fill us in?
Well,
Cita.
first off, new guys, was it Owen and Gamel?
But from my point of view, you're the new guys. But sure, I can see there's a certain dynamic here. New guy away.
You know what I'm talking about.
And our blonde-haired friend over here.
Who is this? What was your name?
My name is Gideon.
Gideon. What are y'all doing here? What are you three doing here?
I had intended just to go to the bottom of this thing, and more the merrier.
But for what purpose?
Oh, just to test out some weapons I've been making.
Okay. And you, Owen?
I'm looking for someone. I was told that they might be around here somewhere.
Well, they're probably not inside. Well, I hope they're not inside. Anyways, Gideon, what were you here for? Exactly.
Much like the young man, I also am looking for someone.
Okay. Well, what we have before us is a place that was created by a mad mage by the name of Crituitous. It is the present resting place for 3 very powerful items that are currently being sought by aberrational giant forces. So that's what Lady Lael, Tamed, and myself are doing here. We're here to collect those so that the enemy doesn't get their hands on them. I don't know if anyone's, I haven't heard of any people particularly returning from here, so if a person did go in here, it's me.
Sorry, who is this enemy you speak of? You speak of to the world?
Yes, there's been abnormal giant activity in the north here. So far we've had 3 major cities almost completely wiped out. Bryn Shander, Tribor, and a small village just outside of Neverwinter. All different clans of giants, all scampering for what we believe to be artifacts of great power.
Would Aaron know anything about the Neverwinter attacks?
Yes, and you know that it was dealt with. Some people went out to fix and help. You know that the city of Nightstone, which was the one that was attacked, is being rebuilt. It's getting more secure now, but the actual perpetrators, the cloud giants that are assumed to have destroyed it, haven't been caught.
Okay.
These places that have been attacked, are they near these mountains?
Not actually, not in particular. The closest one, well, they're all pretty equally distant. One's up north, one's down south, one's out west.
And sort of just takes a deep breath and sort of starts towards Loic, keeping his eyes on the staircase. Well, I don't really have a choice, but I'm glad that I've got somebody else to go down there with. I didn't much fancy going down there on my own.
Well, you guys, depending on, I guess, the quality of your character by the time that all this is done, these legendary artifacts I have no use for personally. And Silvery Moon seems to be alright with them being in the hands of people other than themselves, so long as it's not the giants. So, you might find something down there that's worth more than you could imagine. But the main thing is, recognize Mad Mage Dungeon.
I'm quite handy with a bow, sort of. I'm sure I can make myself of use if I stay back.
Question for either Gideon or the DM. I heard that Gideon fell to the earth. Does he have gear?
He does appear to be wearing a piece of chainmail and a gambeson. He's also got a very basic looking mace strapped to one hip, and he's also carrying a very basic looking halberd, wooden haft, pretty blockish blade. Not much more to it than that.
But you would notice no supplies, no rations, no bedroll, none that you would expect on an adventure.
Noted.
So you send the light spells and you cast light down the hole, and you can just see this huge spiral staircase is inside a roughly square tunnel that drops straight down 100 foot, and you can just about glimpse water at the bottom.
So, you guys have all worked together before. Do you have some sort of tactic or some sort of commander here? Because I got my crossbows and they're pretty great. But if you guys have a way of doing things, why don't you just tell us how that works so we can go down together and not bumble about? Nothing like bumbling in a
that-
workshop to mess things up.
You perfectly nailed it. That usually is our plan. Stand in tunnels, bumble about, save the world. Let's go.
That's the plan? Alrighty.
You start heading down the staircase, and the sound of your footsteps kind of rings a little bit, and the staircase is vibrating as you all now step onto it. It is badly rusted in certain parts, but it appears to be quite sturdy. The air inside the passageway as you keep getting down starts to get much, much warmer, and then humid and kind of rather foul, really. You, after a little while... Yeah?
Don't know what that smell is. Can I get a perception check on that smell?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Bad
It
sense
seems
of
to be
smells.
just a mix of other smells. You can't quite tell what, really. But you do particularly notice that the air is almost getting a little uncomfortably warm. It's not hot and burning, but it is 100-degree weather. It's hot, it's humid, it's not that great. Yeah, Leo?
Warmer than the Underdark?
Oh, yes. You have literally never experienced air as warm as this that isn't actually scalding and burning you. This is right on the edge of being uncomfortable.
Owen blinks the sweat out of his eyes and just says, how can it be so hot right under a frozen mountain?
It's a good question.
Oh, full plate was certainly a mistake.
Maybe it's like Gauntlgrim. They had a fire something in their forge. That's the one.
As you're going down, the vibrations happen again. It shakes a little bit. But you're not knocked over. You're perfectly fine. You keep walking down.
Loic said there was water below us.
Mm-hmm. You're able to see it because of the lights that were sent down by Lael and such.
Is the water steaming?
No, not quite. You see that the floor is submerged by a foot of water. So it's not deep, it doesn't cause any problems with your travel, but it is a foot of warm water.
Can I see what was making the staircase shake? It was just the waves.
Yeah, from here you just see every couple minutes, every 5-10 minutes, the water seems to just wave over. Not heavy wave, just it shifts and the walls vibrate a little bit. You almost imagine that the reason why the stairs were vibrating so much is kind of like a tuning fork. By the time you get to the top, it's much more vigorous than the bottom.
But if there are waves, then...
Are the waves coming at regular intervals?
Yes, every 5 minutes. But they're not like waves as in new water has arrived. That's not the case. It's more a case of the entire cavern just shudders for a moment every 5 minutes. And that causes a ripple in the water as it moves towards you. The water doesn't appear to have any kind of current. It's not flowing anywhere with any real purpose. Okay?
Owen just winces as he trudges through the water. Why would a mage make anything like this?
Well, he was mad. People tend not to question mad mages.
So you are welcome to explore down. Owen only has vision that's quite limiting down here because there is no light. So is someone going to keep...
Well, it sounded like a bunch of people did cast light on the staff and then dancing lights and other light effects, right?
So you're going to keep the light cantrip lit? Because dancing lights will... Is that going to stick around for a while?
It's a cantrip.
Taman cast light on his staff, didn't he? So that's...
Yeah, and I'll keep light up as often as I need to.
Out of curiosity, though, Taman, did you sell those goggles of dark vision that you had once?
They were no longer on my person when I returned from wherever it was I went.
Mysterious.
So you can see that this corridor leads around the tunnel, and you are welcome to just start exploring. When you reach a point where I need you to stop, I'll stop you and talk to you about it.
Just throwing it out there. 20 feet radius is how far Owen can see.
Hey, Gamble.
Yeah.
You any good at looking for traps?
Not really good looking for traps. Pretty good at shooting stuff I see around corners, though.
If you lead, be very careful. Oh!
Just like that. Oh, alright. Lael, you step around and you see this very large creature folded with its arms across and head down, almost like it's sleeping, but it looks like a giant lion with wings.
Divine senses, please.
You cast Divine Sense, you
Yep.
spend a moment trying to sense what it is, and you don't pick up anything in the immediate vicinity, which suggests it's not a celestial, fae, or fiend.
Aaron's going to poke his head around the corner. Does he recognise that?
Make a history check. Yeah, you've heard of these creatures before in particular. Why one is right here at the entrance of a tomb, you have no idea, but this is a gynosphinx.
What type of creature is that?
It's a monstrosity. Yeah.
Harry, what is it?
It's a dino-sphinx. Do I know what kind of alignment this thing tends to be? Is this a good creature, or is this a neutral kind of evil
They
thing?
tend to be neutral. Tend to be quite neutral. And in the past, they've only been... you've only heard of them in stories as like gatekeepers.
Okay.
If it's a sphinx, there's a chance it'll let us pass if we just talk to it.
Yeah, I agree with Loic. They're not known to be necessarily evil creatures.
Start walking down the tunnel.
I'll lead with them. Yeah.
As you step forward and start trudging through, the ripples in the water vibrate a little bit, and he does start to shift and wake up. And as he does so, you immediately feel this wall of force hit right up against you, stopping you from being able to get any closer to him. Who disturbs my slumber?
It is high, Latin.
That's what I was thinking. It is I, Hatim.
I don't know the words.
I want to watch that now.
Only the wise can pass.
Eric.
Owen takes a step back.
Answer me this. What am I? Round she is, yet flat as a board. Altar of the lupine lords. Jewel on black velvet, pearl in the sea. Unchanged but e'er changing, eternally.
Is it the moon?
Ah, little one. Very well. And he just starts to fizzle out in the light and disappear. The wall of force immediately letting itself up, with the gynosphinx disappearing.
Lil turns around to look at the young boy's name she didn't pay attention to, and just gives a nod of approval.
I just kind of looked shocked that it actually had an effect. He actually only... I didn't mean to say it for him to hear, I was just guessing.
Damon gives a hand up for a high five. Don't leave me hanging.
I just sort of looks at him, clearly not having heard of the custom.
Alright.
Gamma gives you a high
Damon
five.
does that.
Give him a pat on the
Thanks,
shoulder.
Gamma.
Well done, lad.
He does one
In
of
the
those
gynosphinx's location, you see that he was stood in front of an area of the path that splits off in 3 directions. North, east, and west. So you can see just to the edge of the tunnels either side, but the one straight ahead seems to open up into a large pool of water.
There seems to be some sort of cavern ahead of us, but to the left and right they turn a corner.
We have to find 3 items, and we have 3 paths.
So, shall we go left, forward, or right?
I bet the water one is the trident.
Shall we go get it?
I don't think there's a wrong option here.
You should spearhead that project and go run point. Go ahead.
Taban, with his light staff, is happy to run point, but he'll also move slowly in order to perceive any dangers.
As you're moving through the tunnel, you don't sense any real dangers, as it were. But Lael, you see to the right of you a little alcove off to the tunnel. You look inside and you can see that there appears to be some form of a drain and a valve on it, almost to suggest that this would empty the corridor of the water that's in it. So if you choose to, you can remove the water from these tunnels.
I'm gonna just keep going.
Okay.
I don't trust it.
Did Taman see that?
His heavy crossbow.
Yes, Taman would have seen it. It's very obvious anyone would have seen it.
I suggest maybe I don't like the fact that we're walking in something conductive. Can we clear the water? It's slowing it's impeding our progress as well.
My feet are freezing.
I think Taman would try to leverage the whatever mechanism it is to drain the water. If he perceived that is what the result would be.
Okay.
Can we just
make a strength check.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Can I assist him?
Yeah, you can assist him. Alright. You pull and after a moment it shifts and you can now start pulling it and move it around. You turn this wheel and the drain at your feet immediately opens up and water just starts gushing in. It'll slowly disappear from the corridors, but it is dropping an inch every minute or so. It won't take long to empty the corridor of the water. Ahead of you, Lael, as you're stepping forward, you see that this tunnel, though the area you're in is slowly dropping of water, this area is not. It's quite full, but because it's got its own depth, it's not going to drop any lower than the corridor. You can just make out that there is a path that continues with water only about a foot deep that leads off to the left and around this room, but the water inside appears to be about 15 foot deep.
Is this a door?
It is a door underneath. You're able to see through the water. Make a perception check for me.
9.
Okay. You are able to see the door. You're not able to see much else. But you can see that there is a door underneath the surface of the water inside this room.
Does anyone feel like swimming?
I'm just going to kind of curiously peer into the water himself. Can he do a perception check as well, just because he's curious?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, for flip's sake.
There appears to be some algae and kelp in the water, but that's about it.
Can Aaron have a look around from what he can see, just to see if there's anything out of place, traps, stuff that looks unusual?
It's got seaweed in it. It must have been sitting there for ages.
The kelp seems to be alive.
I'm going to hold people back. The algae isn't a plant, or no, it is a plant, but it's alive.
Well, yes, all plants are alive.
No, I mean this looks sentient.
Oh, and just kind of shuffles back, frightened.
It's not much, it's just little bits of patches of kelp that's kind of floating at the bottom of the water.
They're not moving towards us or anything.
Not yet. Enough.
Not yet.
Why don't we take a look down one of the other paths, maybe?
Let's let the water drain. We've got safety when they're in the water, I imagine.
So you taking a glimpse of the area, the room you're in won't drain below the corridor because you drop down a little bit of a lip and you're in on 1 foot of water.
It's like a giant sink.
DM, is this area here the same depth as the rest of the room?
Yeah, so as you can see, the path gets to a point where the ledge that you're walking on gets to a point where it just stops, and then it breaks again another 5 foot across the way. But everything that's not on the ledge that you're on is 15 foot deep.
So we would need to clear that distance if we wanted to stay dry. Is that right?
Yes.
I want to clear that distance.
You gonna make a running jump? Or
Yep.
just... Okay.
Gonna jump.
What's your strength score?
25.
Yeah, you're able to make 10-foot distance, running, jumping. No problem. But there is a splash as you jump out of the water and land. And I need you to make an acrobatics check to see whether or not you catch your feet after the jump.
4.
Your feet slip and you fall completely under the water. You're now drenched in warm water. You're able to stand yourself back up, but you are wet.
Aaron's going to try and hold a smirk, cover his foot.
Watch out, it's slippery.
Aaron's then going to look at Taman. Taman, can you just dim the light for me a second?
Happy to. I put my hand over the staff and I dim the light.
Okay. There's no more light sources then?
No.
Okay, can I fly over the top?
You can do. Yep. So you fly over, you can see the stairs up across you.
No, thanks, buddy.
Owen, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me. Okay. Nothing happens, you're fine.
Does he realise anything's happened? Or
No,
anything?
no.
Okay. Owen's going to follow Lael and attempt to run and jump.
What's your strength score?
16.
16. Okay. I need you to make an athletics check for me. Okay. You managed to jump across. You'll need to make an acrobatics to see how well you land, though, on the wet surface. With grace and poise, you land at Lael's feet, completely dry. Taman, could you do me a favour and roll a wisdom saving throw?
Okay.
That water looks really inviting. How about you go for a swim?
I think it's like a heated pool. Is there bubbles? Is it like a jacuzzi?
You know, it might actually have bubbles in it. You just got to go in and just start swimming.
Well, I'm going to do exactly that, because I could use a bath. It's been ages.
You all see Taman just dives into the water.
Taman,
Taman, what are you doing?
The water's nice. You guys should come in.
Taman, get
Get Taman out of the water, please.
It's very nice in here.
I'll go and cast Levitate on him, raise him back up.
Is it really that nice?
It's really nice. You guys don't know what you're missing.
Taman, while you're in the water, and just before Loic is able to cast the Levitate on you, the kelp had been closing in and do attempt to attack you. Not much. They all fail. You just feel kelp just hitting up against you, bobbing. That's pointless. And then a moment later, you suddenly feel yourself pulled up out of the surface of the water.
Do we all see the kelp gather around him?
Yes, you would have. Taman, feel free to make the wisdom saving throw again.
My light is currently extinguished, but everyone else has dark vision and stuff, so...
Except for me.
Okay. You immediately wake up out of whatever charm it was that was pulling you into the water, but you're fine.
And I'm floating.
Yeah, floating in the air, Loic is pulling you out of the water.
That was nice in there. I don't know what came over me. It doesn't seem like a rational thing to do, but it was quite delightful.
Get out of the water quickly. The kelp seems psionic or something.
Would you mind putting me down on the other side of the hazardous jump?
I can't.
Is the kelp above the water slightly?
No, it's not.
Is it all underwater?
It's all underwater.
I'll grab. He's levitating, right? You can't move him, but he's levitating. So I can grab him and pull him over solid ground.
The reason why I was beside him is because I was going to grab him and just pull him over back onto safe ground. Yes, and I cannot move people sideways with levitate. It's only up and down.
Can you
But I
push
could
me?
move sideways by grabbing him and just pulling him over, right?
Yeah, you can move him
Yeah,
physically by applying pressure and work.
What have they said?
If he floats, we could push him and he could just levitate across the water over to the other side.
He could give it a shot, but he's got to pass the living kelp that seems to be capable of moving.
Yeah, we'll just put him down next to us. That's fine.
Alright, Aaron's getting bored of this. He's going to shoot kelp. They're having effects. When I heard they're having effects, I'm going to shoot the kelp.
Okay, make an attack at disadvantage. Well, 26 twice. Alright. You do focus on where you need to go, and knowing that arrows do slow down when they hit the water, you do manage to get one of the kelps and pin it up against the wall. It can't move anymore. While this is happening, I need Gamil to make a wisdom saving throw against being charmed.
Of course I do.
Alright, so you're fine. Nothing seems to happen to you. And then lastly, Gideon.
My best stat.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw, Gideon.
Nice.
Okay, you're fine as well.
Can I very carefully, like, half a second, dip my tentacle into the water and use shocking grasp on it?
Yep. Go ahead and try.
We're all in the water, like.
I'm gonna stay way far away from it, full 10-foot range.
If I'm right, Shock and Grasp is not actually a lightning attack, is it?
Yeah, it's lightning damage. Is that 2? Yeah, it's 2d8. I got a 2 and a 1.
Ah.
So it's not that much electrical energy, but you do shock the kelp that you grab, and it just does kind of go a little bit lifeless and starts floating down to the bottom of the water. The electrical energy didn't dissipate, it was too weak to dissipate to everyone else. But now you've got 2 less kelp in the area to worry about, but everyone passed the wisdom saves. So you don't feel any pull from the kelp or any danger right now.
We still gotta get in the water in order to go through that door, though.
It does seem that there are doors up these stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the rest of us have to make a running jump across this.
Yep, I'll need athletics checks and then acrobatics checks. Unless your strength is over 20. If your strength is over 20,
I recommend... anyone willing to stand on the other side with a rope? Because I'm short. This is a distance thing.
Owen's automatically just come seeing people are lined up just to the other side to basically catch him and help him across.
Can I chuck you a rope to hold on to? And then make the jump, and if there's a problem, maybe use that rope to pull up?
Go for it.
I will do that.
You throw it. Owen, you catch the rope. Gamel, are you giving the rope to someone else to hold while you kind of scurry across, or?
Well, the idea is that I'll just jump with the rope in my hand, and then if I don't make it, they can fish me out.
Okay. So make the athletics check. Alright.
That's why we threw the rope.
You jump, and you just fall short. You hit your stomach up against the ledge in the water. Your face gets splashed, but Owen is holding onto the rope, and he can pull you up without any real problem. So, Gamel, you are now across the water.
Am I still under the effects of levitate?
No. Fear on the ground.
Yeah, Owen tosses the rope over to somebody else.
Damon will make the running jump.
I'll stand back. Good point.
Breathe. You do a very ungraceful dive straight into the water.
Really likes that water.
It's delightful.
And you do notice that the kelpie start moving closer towards.
Aaron's going to take another reaction shot on the next kelp.
No. Owen starts going as he scrambles to pull the rope in.
Damon climbs up the rope.
So, Taman, you're able to get across. Aaron, you fire a shot. Okay, you hit it and pin this kelp to the ground. And then, who's up next?
Right, so instead of trying to be all acrobatic or athletic or whatever, I'm just going to kill the remaining kelp.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome to do so.
You still have to make that jump, even if the kelp are still there.
I will gracefully...
freezes up for a moment and then drops to the ground.
I gracefully just slip into the water and then go across and slip back out and then press to digitate myself dry.
Smooth, right?
Take a little bow.
Does the tentacle? Do you swim with the tentacle, or do you use that? So like a little thing.
Oh, it goes like a eel behind me.
Spin wheel.
Little propeller.
Gideon, you try to make the leap, and you actually fall backwards.
We did.
Well, Aaron's gonna lean forward and try and pick him up. This is not a good sign for things to come, my friend. I'm just gonna drag him out.
I'm not used to this before.
this form?
It is unwieldy.
What do you mean?
He seems more caught up in just his miserable state, so he's not used to any of it. He's caught up in self-pity right now.
Lloyd
It's
is going to come up next to him and kind of pat him on the shoulder and say, "That's okay. Just next time I slip and fall on my ass, don't laugh at me."
Owen gives his rope back to Gamel.
Okay. You're all able to move along the path, along the water, and through the corridor, up the steps out of the water into dry land.
Is that the door we're talking about? That's in
There
here?
is a door under the water that's under there.
That's the door.
There is a door. It's not the door. You have a set of stairs leading up out of the area, and then you have another door under the water.
I think if someone fancies a swim, they can go for it, is what that means.
So if any of you wish to go in... There's lots of doors in this corridor, in fact. If any of you wish to go into the water, to go investigate inside that door, you're welcome to. But you've also got the corridor leading up.
Wait, stop. Everybody stop. Before you touch that door, let me just mage hand the door open and let's take a look inside before we are in the water.
What's the door
You
made
can't
of?
keep me out of the water.
Apparently not.
Is it a stone door, a wood door, a metal door?
It is a very small stone doorway.
Okay.
You can see that there are gaps between the stone and the frame. Mage hand pushes the stone a little bit. There's obviously some resistance because of water pressure and whatnot, but it does open the door, and inside you can see shiny stuff. It just seems to reflect a little bit of light. It's quite shiny.
I'm going to use the mage hand to poke at it and see if it's an illusion.
It is not an illusion. In fact, you poke at it and you start seeing the shiny things are spreading out a little bit, almost like coins falling around.
Well, hot dang, Aaron, you still got that bag of holding?
Yes, dang, I have a bag of holding.
Oh boy. There's a hoard of goodies down here. Allegedly. It's not an illusion, and it's not moving.
Well, Taman, as you're already wet, do you want to...
I'm happy to. And I reach up for the bag.
Yeah, Aaron's just going to open the bag like that. Just look at his bag.
But this is all underwater, right? If you open the bag, isn't water just going to rush into the bag?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, good thinking. All right, I'm not going to bring the bag with me. I'll bring the good stuff.
Although at the same time, you could open it, and then the suction would suck all the coins in, and then you empty all the water out later. But I don't know how big your bag of holding is.
And Taman, possibly.
So, Taman, you dive in, you go under, you got to hold your breath because you're underwater now. It doesn't take you long, you swim as you can down the 15-foot in through the door, and you can gather up the coins that you see on the ground. Is that what you're doing?
I attempt to do so, yes.
You grab as many coins as you can. You see a really nice piece of jewelry, a tiara, to the side, and a big piece of chainmail armor.
How am I doing on breath?
You can breathe for
Constitution.
What?
Yeah, plus
That
as
is
many
breathing.
minutes as your... no, sorry. Like, the rules on it. As many minutes... Whatever your con modifier is, that's how many minutes plus one you can survive. You can hold your breath underwater.
Okay, I'm good for 5
So,
minutes then.
yeah.
Alright, so I grab as
You're
much
fine
as
on
I can.
time. You actually grab 600 gold pieces, a really nice piece of jewelry, and are you going to attempt to pick up the chainmail armor?
I'm going to attempt to do it, yes.
Right. Because it's underwater, you're underwater, I'm going to need you to make an athletics check to see if you can actually swim with an extra suit of armor in your hands.
So as soon as I feel it, I'm like, oh man, this is really heavy. I'm going to need some help with this. And I say a quick prayer for guidance. So I'll have all sorts of extra help to do that, obviously.
One can make a difference.
Alright. It takes you a while, it's very heavy, it exerts quite a lot of your energy, but you do actually manage to pull this chainmail and the coins out of the water.
So there's lots of coins, and there was a tiara, and there was some chainmail down there. Guys.
Nice.
Owen just looks awestruck, like he clearly hasn't seen that much money in one place before.
Can I look at the tiara?
He's here.
The tiara is very valuable looking, very precious.
I appraise it. I'm an amateur jeweler. It's just checking it out. So it looks pretty nice.
Probably worth about 2,000 gold.
Ooh. Can I look at the armor?
It has somewhat of a magical essence to it. You would have to spend time to really assess what it is. Or have Loic investigate it.
Loic, this is seems slightly magical.
Let's see what it does. And I cast Identify, which I've prepared today, so it takes no time at all.
It is a +1 chainmail.
Ugh, it's just a +1 chainmail.
+1 what?
To your vital abilities.
Extra protective.
When it's measured in increments of physics, biology.
Owen scratches his head.
So does
So you're saying it's normal chainmail that because of magic deflects attacks slightly more than normal. Is that
You got it!
okay?
Very eloquent, very eloquent.
Well, I am in the Armorers Guild.
Are you really? You said you were an appraiser as well?
Well, so my day stuff's appraisal work, but I also do fine. You may notice I'm not a huge guy. I'm a little more dexterous than most, so I focus on fine crafting. So I do armor, but then also jewelry, magical items. I'm not magic, but I know the creation and fine work in that stuff, in that regards.
Are you wearing something that you've made?
This particular piece, no, it's leather armor, and I work mostly in metals, but I did a trade with a guy for some stuff that I did for him. You know, just barter stuff.
Boys,
This
can
is
we save the life stories for later?
I'm
This is
going
for-
to hand the chainmail over to Owen and go, look, kid, maybe you want to put this on. That stuff you're wearing doesn't look like it was made for you. This might work a little bit better. Hand it to Owen.
He just looks sort of overcome and a bit uncomfortable, but he manages to stammer out, that's very kind of you.
David says, let's cast lots for it. Whoever wants it, roll one of these bones. Whatever.
Before we move on, Gamel, this is a conversation for another time, but if you're interested, I may have a business deal for you later.
Well, if
There.
we make it out of here alive, be glad to talk to you.
Awesome.
Lael, you kind of push open the doorway that you can see, and you look down the corridor, and interesting situations happening. You actually see that the tunnel appears to be rotating, and you can actually see it's got a spiral pattern in it, black and white spiral pattern.
And there's another door at the end, but it's slowly turning into the floor.
No, the tunnel stops right here. Can you see this tunnel shape?
Yeah.
Almost looks like a funhouse tunnel.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's the tunnel that's spinning.
Oh, okay.
David's still in the water, and he wanted to check out this other area.
Taman is obsessed
There was
with
nothing in that area.
And
Taman,
Fishbone.
stop
That's
taking
about
a
it.
swim.
does this area lead to like another area? Is it like a doorway?
There's a
No
wall,
doorway.
Although Aaron's going to nudge Loic and go, though I'm surprised, the owl's not enjoying that bath a little bit. Maybe that's the reason she fell in.
Ha! Good one.
So then, so I'm out of the water now, and I'm
Pull
ready.
yourself out. So yeah, the stone corridor starts changing and moving and spinning before you. Apparently made of some kind of light-coloured metal. The inner surface is rotating quite rapidly, and it's painted in a dizzying black and white spiral pattern. But also it's glistening as if it's been coated with some substance.
What is that?
So Aaron just approached this other door and just tell an investigation on the other door while they're doing that.
You take a look at it. It's a very simple stone door. You've seen doors similar to this. It's more of a floodgate than anything else.
Okay.
Is there a rock anywhere around?
There's plenty of rocks anywhere that you could grab and
I'd like to pick one up and chuck it through the tunnel. Let
Pick
it
it up?
hit a wall. Yeah.
It hits a wall and just bounces off the wall. It slides a little bit. If it hits the substance that's on the tunnel, slides a little bit more than it probably should. Obviously, it's lubricated by this.
So what's the point of the trap? It just looks like a fun thing. Maybe it's got spikes at the end or something. What's at the other side there? What is this?
You can just about see a slit in the wall and a door just off to the side.
I don't like this.
Daniel
Says
puts
it.
light on his staff again.
No, this has an ill air to it, this.
Well, the walls seem like they have less friction. So maybe if you sort of aim yourself to hit any points to that part of the wall and not go through the slit, maybe you can kind of catch yourself and just very gently nudge yourself down the hall.
Aaron's going to go to the dwarf. Sorry, what am I?
Gamel. You can just call me
Gamel.
Smith. My Smith's my reputation. Call me Smith. That's fine.
Smithy. You still got that right?
Yeah, right here. I have some pintons as well if we need to jam those into something.
Okay. If we tie this round somebody, and I'll hold this so they don't go so fast. If you think it's lubricated. We sort of hold them back while they travel down there. Make sure
That
they
wouldn't
don't-
hurt, because if in worst case scenario if something falls or the tunnel starts collapsing, we can yank whoever's there back. So.
As I discussed saying, Owen's just going to murmur to Gideon. Have you seen anything like this before in your life?
I have seen very little of any of this.
So is everyone afraid of touching the walls?
I'm more concerned about why they want you to speed up right here. What is it that they want you to careen into?
Can't we just walk slowly?
It's possible. Yeah, just very, very, like I was saying, get on your butt and just scoot a little bit at a time, maybe.
Well,
Now, you don't understand. When you say these are rotating, do you mean it's like a tunnel and the tunnel is the whole thing is spinning, or is it just floor plates that are spinning?
No, whole thing is just
It's like a tube that's rotating.
proper fun house
Yeah.
tube spinning.
Yeah.
A funhouse hypnotizing spiral thing.
Well,
Because that fancy levitate thing you did, we could cast that on somebody and just push them down the hallway so they don't touch the wall at all.
yeah.
And
Can
have
do.
a rope around their waist, and if they get to the end and there's a problem, we just yank them back.
My thought is this may be the same thing. You weren't there, Loic, but Vizerin had the same thing in the staircase just before we met up with you again. But it was the whole field. Once
Oh,
we
I
activated it, we didn't have to touch the wall. So is this the same?
Also,
You
wasn't
can-
that
sorry,
an
you can go
altar?
and investigate, but it doesn't look like the staircase that we had.
Well, if that's the case, I can fly over there.
Plus, it wasn't really the staircase, was it? It was the taking the book off the thing that triggered it. What was it?
It was touching the staircase that triggered.
Oh, it was the door, wasn't it? Yeah, that was triggered by the book.
So what are you guys doing?
I'm going. Give me the rope.
Okay.
So I'll tie the rope around her, and then
You
I'll anchor
step
her.
up onto the tunnel as it starts to rotate. I need you to make a deck save.
Happily. 13.
You're moving through. You're catching your feet a little bit, but the tunnel's just moving a little bit too quickly, and the slimy oil. You can now recognize that it is oil that's actually lubricated everything. You just fall. You're still at the mouth of here, and you're just tumbling as the tunnel starts spinning around you.
So the tunnel's not at any sort of an angle where you would, like, if you fall, you'd slide out. It's just
Nope.
hilarious to watch her fumble around.
Yeah.
Damn it, give her a kick.
Owen's gonna just go and help her up.
This is a real good thing your squire ain't here, Al.
You're going to try and pick her up,
He's
Owen?
gonna try and just grab her and see if we can drag her out of the tunnel. But
Okay. Make me a athletics or acrobatics check. She's spinning in such a speed, Owen, that you try to pull her out, but you trip a little bit, and now you are in there in the midst of it, just...
I've got a rope. Is the rope going like that?
Are you doing nothing with this rope? I see how it is.
Well, Owen stepped forward. He's got his rope, and I was about to pull you back, and he's gone to grab.
Were you?
Yes, that's what the rope.
Sounded like you got a kicker, or somebody was.
No, I'm like gonna scream it, like, I'll grab the boy, and then attempt to pull them back, both back. If she can try and grab
hold
him.
on to Owen.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
We're just tumbling around like clothes.
You pull her out, the two of you back out. You are covered in this oil, but not worse for wear.
I'm sorry. I just was trying to help.
That was invigorating.
How about we get a running start and do a slip and slide?
Tyler, I was thinking the same thing, but I am a short, stubby guy with short legs. So if you want to go for it, I think that would be a grand idea.
Okay. Do you want me to go first? If we turn the lights out, I can fly over there again.
Well, that makes sense that we have at least one person on the other side to make sure that we don't have any danger.
I'll take
So
the
you
rope.
can
I'll take-
fly, but only in darkness.
Dim light, darkness. Yeah.
All right, sure, all right.
It's like that whole invisible when you're not looking thing.
Right. No, that goes.
So Taman puts out the light, you spread out the cloak and fly through the tunnel. You make a point not to touch any of it.
No, I make a point not to touch it, but I'm going to take the rope with me.
Yeah.
Well, not the whole
Go.
rope, but
one end of the rope.
I'm going to give one end of the rope, give the other end to Taman, and then...
You get over to the other side and you can now see through the slit. Make an investigation check for me. This is a nice opening in a wall. I mean, there's a room just on the other side of it. You can maybe catch a glimpse of the end of a bench, but that's about it. But now there is a rope going in the middle of the tunnel, stretching between you and the rest of the group.
Okay, I'm going to try and anchor myself and make it taut and just try and so it's easy for people to get across.
There's a door right there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, well, why don't you open the door, and if something terrible is behind it, we'll pull you through it, and then we'll have the advantage of a slip and slide in between us and whatever's on the other side. And then if it's safe, we can cross over. Because there's not room for all of us over there before you have to open the door.
Alright. Aaron's not a bad idea. Aaron's going to tie off the boat. Give me a sec. Can I get a sense of anything in there?
Are you going to use primary awareness? Go ahead and...
Yes. It's this monstrosities or beings.
No, you don't. You don't sense anything. However, you do get a smell of something familiar, but you can't place it.
Okay, alright. I can't do a perception check on that.
You can perceive. Yeah, you can do one. Seems familiar. You've smelt something similar before.
Okay. Get ready to yank.
Ready.
You secured the rope, so unsecure it and put it around your waist.
I have. I've tied it. I'm going to check the door, the traps, and then open it.
You don't see any traps on the door, and you just kind of push it a little bit, and as you push it, you see in the crack of the door, there is a human with his bow ready to go.
Yank!
Next to him is a rather large werewolf.
Yank!
The human, however, is going to fire at you first.
I have commenced yanking.
Okay, he misses because of the pulling, but you're being pulled through the oil, right? And you're sliding a little bit as you're You go through, up a little bit on the wall, and then out. But you're now also covered in a little bit of oil, as is the rope. The human that you can see.
Human and werewolf. Sliding back.
Does Owen recognise that what's all over him as oil?
Yes.
It's flammable oil.
Yes. The human immediately steps back around to his hidey hole, and you see him point another arrow through, though this arrow looks a little bit different. This arrow looks lit on fire.
Owen's gonna whip out his bow and try for a quick shot.
Aaron's going to shout, "Prestidigitation, please!"
I'm also going to shoot him.
Okay, go ahead and make your shots. He's going to make one shot as well if you guys are going to fire.
And he counts as humanoid, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to imagine Aaron's prone on the floor at this point.
You're sat on the floor. You've been pulled through backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with your longbow, you fire. You do hit him, actually. 12 points of piercing damage. You manage to get it through the slit. Actually, no. He's got full cover. You don't hit him.
Oh, is he? Oh, right. Okay.
Well, not full cover, 3/4 cover, but you don't quite hit with a 17.
Right. Okay.
And neither does the
Well,
crossbow. It just misses.
Yeah.
Fortunately. However, his shot, which wasn't aimed at any of you, it was aimed at the tunnel, immediately flies into the tunnel, ignites the oil. This entire area is lit with flame. I need Lael, Owen, and Erin to make dex saves to get out of the oil before they get ignited.
20.
20. 3.
It's 19, isn't it? Because I'm next to Lael. Do I get?
Yeah, fair enough.
You go, oh yeah, sorry.
You are pulled out and you're not on fire, but the tunnel between you is on fire. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yay!
So I get advantage on initiative throws thanks to the new Ranger rules, just to clarify.
Yes.
Oof,
Okay.
God, look at that.
So,
Some good rolls, when they count.
take your 27.
I think so.
Owen, you're up first.
Owens just seems to slip into an automatic sort of zone as he realises the danger, and he basically just calls to the others rather than prepare a shot. He's going to take a step back and he says, "We need to close them down as quick as possible. We're sitting ducks here." And that is all he's actually going to do for this turn.
Okay.
Let's impart that information.
Lael.
I'm going to take dodge.
Okay, you're just going to dodge?
Yeah.
Okay. Loic.
Okay.
You see that there is someone that has fired an arrow towards you guys?
Is that guy, is his leg visible?
He's just visible through the slit that he's firing through, so he does have 3/4 cover though.
It's like that matters. And I guess I'll just lob a cantrip at him for now.
Okay.
Firebolt.
Do you have the spell sniper feat?
I do.
You do, okay. Alright.
The one I picked.
So with focus, you aim it, and you do manage to hit him squarely in the shoulder, knocking him back quite a bit. It was a pretty powerful hit. He looks quite wounded. Then he comes out, pokes his head through, an angry look on his face, and he fires another shot from his crossbow into the midst. He's targeting Lael for this. Does a 17 hit you, Lael?
What was the dodge action again?
Gives him disadvantage.
Okay, no, it doesn't.
No. Okay. He will fire a second shot, and that'll also miss. Then he'll slink back and try to hide. Erin.
Yeah, I'm going to cast what I accidentally cast at the moment. I'm going to put it right into the corner area.
So you're going to cast darkness in here. Okay.
Yeah. Blind them from shooting at.
When it comes to me, I'm going to delay. I have to step away for a second, okay?
No problem. Anything else from you, Erin?
I'm going to get up on my feet and draw Hellweaver. And that's what I'm doing.
Gamel will hold his action to fire at anything that he can see. Gideon.
He's just going to take a defensive step in front of the frightened young human. Just sort of take like a protective stance, and that's basically it.
It is the werewolf's turn. Going to stumble through the door. Still in darkness, she can't quite see. But she knows she's through the door. So she's actually going to try to run and jump through the tunnel with disadvantage. Intent. But she does manage to jump through. She lands in the tunnel, getting caught on flame about here. She does take a little bit of fire damage, but she continues to move. A little bit more. Okay. Taman.
I will reach up to my prayer beads, grab one, and cast Bless on myself, Lael, and Aaron. So using my prayer bead is a bonus action. So as my regular action, I will cast Sacred Flame at the werewolf.
Makes that attack. Fails because he's now in a spinning tunnel. And you do hit. Gamel, feel free to make an attack. We just claimed you waited until something came into view, and now something is in view.
Alrighty. In that case...
One of your crossbows.
Oh, boo.
Unfortunately, the weapon jams a little bit, and you got to spend your action getting the bolt out.
Makes sense.
That was a good test.
Clearly the firing mechanism needs some work.
Anything else from you, Taman?
That's it.
Okay. Owen, back up to you.
Can he fire through people, or is that behind cover? Behind friendly targets?
Did we already establish the friendly fire rule?
Yeah.
Friendly fire is possible.
Okay. Owen's just gonna step forward and fire another shot with assured ease. Now, the werewolf, would that count as a humanoid? Having 4 arms,
yes,
2 arms, 2 legs. And a favoured enemy.
17 does manage to hit. You see your target, it's moving about quite a bit in the tunnel, but you wait for your shot and then you go for it and hit.
Sweet. And he will take another step back behind Gideon.
I'm going to hold my action until the werewolf is close as well.
Okay, Loic.
The firebolt, this time at the werewolf.
That'll hit. The werewolf now looks quite weak, and actually it falls over from all the damage and the spinning of the tunnel. It's now effectively prone. The human individual, he's going to come through here and wait on his turn, actually. Aaron, you're up.
Aaron's gonna say, "Don't let it bite you," and then he's gonna hold his action. He's gonna cause a stance and look at the werewolf in the eyes and snarl at him, teethily. And I'll hold my action to wait for it to be mentioned.
Then Gamel.
Alright, I gotta reload my crossbow. Or in the alternative, yeah, I gotta reload my crossbow. I remember, is that a full action or a bonus action?
I think it's a bonus action to reload.
Alright, so I'm gonna reload and just shoot again. You'll note last time I rolled twice, and it was a crit fail and a crit hit, so we're hoping somewhere in the middle.
That'll hit, actually.
Woo!
So, I should let you know, Matthew, because I don't know if you were there when I established the... we do it's possible for friendly fire here. So, okay. If a enemy has a cover bonus because of a friendly character or any other character, and the attack would have hit if it wasn't for that bonus, then the attack hits the thing that was in the way.
Understood. That makes sense.
But your attack does manage to go between Aaron and Lael, and you do hit the werewolf. So Gideon, it's your turn.
He's just going to maintain his position.
Okay. The wolf is going to take a little bit more damage from the flame. Not a lot. Seems to be resisting it. And charges forward. At you, Aaron, go ahead and attack. Same with Lael. Okay. Both of you, it's midair as it launches towards you, mouth wide open, claws at the ready. You both swing at the same time and connect. Together, your attacks target pretty much the same point of the werewolf, but on either side, your weapons go through and hit one another, and the werewolf ends up split in two.
Good to be working with you again. Alright, can we see the other one? He's in the shell of darkness still, isn't he?
He's still in the darkness area. However, you do notice now looking at it that the flames are starting to die down.
Okay.
Taman, you're up.
Taman will use a bonus action Shillelagh, and if the human comes into sight, I will cast Sacred Flame, but until then, I will hold my turn.
Okay. Owen.
Okay. Owen takes a few cautious steps forward, just brushes between them. Can he actually see the human well enough to get off a shot, or is it
You can't actually see the human at all because he's in a shroud of darkness.
Fair dues. He's going to ready his bow, just draw it, and wait for something to show itself. Sort of visibly tense and not letting his guard down. So he's going to ready an action.
Lael?
So there is dark,
Yes, that's
but here isn't.
not.
Okay, cool. Then I will use Misty Step to go forward, and hope while I'm in the tunnel I can stay on my feet.
So over there. Pop, pop. You travel through the air, teleport, make a dexterity saving throw.
23.
23. Okay, you do land in such a way that you're almost sliding with the tunnel as it moves.
I can't see the guy.
You don't see him. You could swing with disadvantage.
Yeah, let's swing with disadvantage.
Maybe you'll hit him.
18 and a 24.
Yeah, you do hit him.
Ah, excellent. Then he takes 15 points of damage.
Nice. You hear a loud cry out in pain. You know you've hit your mark. You know where he is. Loic.
Loi's gonna turn his head around and be like, "So, how's your day been? How's the dungeon so far? Enjoying yourself?"
He gives you a very strange look.
Owen too seems to raise his eyebrow slightly at the statement.
Don't worry about it. She's got this.
Right, well, Burkett, the human, steps out of the darkness.
Shot.
Go
Reaction.
ahead and shoot. Go ahead, Payman. So, dex save, we'll say at disadvantage because he's in a tunnel that's difficult. He does succeed, he gets a 16. So, is that half damage on a success for Sacred Flame? It's not, is it?
I believe it's nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so he managed to just dodge out of the way of that. You do fire the shot, Owen, and you do hit. You manage to catch him just as he enters the tunnel. But as you catch him, you see he's lifting a very big sword, and he swings down at Lael. That's going to miss. First attack misses. Second attack swings up again for a 16. Another miss. The oil is just making him fall and fumble. But he is stood right next to you. You're both next to each other on the tunnel. He is going to just stop moving and let himself knock you
Oh
over.
no!
You are now prone on top of him.
Okay.
And he's kind of trying to make sure that you're in the way. Aaron, you're up.
Yeah, that just screwed me. I'm going to drop darkness. Doesn't seem to have any point to it now. I'm just going to turn to the other. Is she having a roll around fumble with him? What's going on? I can't do anything. I'm gonna hold my action until I see something.
As soon as this love fest on the ground breaks up, I can get a shot without him having cover from my new compatriot. I'll shoot, but till then I'm just gonna hold that action.
You doing anything, Gideon?
No.
Damon?
I am reading Sacred Flame real quick. I don't have to make an attack throw, so I'll cast Sacred Flame again.
Okay. He's going to fail this just because of the situation, but what are the chances Lael's going to get hit?
Well, it's targeted.
Yeah,
so
it's
I hit it.
Just for the sake of it, Lael, could you make a dex save at advantage because it's not aimed at you?
10.
Okay. You will get caught up in that with the Sacred Flame that, as it says, it comes down upon a target of your choice, so it does manage to hit you, so you will take the 14 damage. But so does he. And he is looking extremely weak. Barely able
Sorry
to
about that.
Owen.
Okay. Owen's just feeling it in the zone after seeing his shots hit true. So he's going to step forward, draw an arrow, almost like a good luck gesture, just as it runs the flights, if that is what they call the feathers, just up against it, across his lips, as if kissing him just before he draws, and he's going to loose a shot. Is that going to be a disadvantage, or...?
No, it'll be a normal shot, but he has quite a bit of cover from Lael, so...
Okay.
If you're prone, don't you get, doesn't the attacker off the range do it at disadvantage?
Ranged would be a disadvantage, yeah, so...
I don't think I'm going to get that, anything higher than that.
But you might get worse. Go ahead and...
I'm sorry.
Okay, alright, you miss. It bounces off of Lael's armor.
It was
She
good.
notices.
It was going so well.
Lael, you're up.
Right. So we're rolling around in this
Rolling
tunnel.
around, tumbling.
We're struggling, I imagine.
Fire and bits flying off you.
Yeah, people are setting me on fire and shooting at me. Can I just punch him?
You can see that he's actually trying to pull a dagger out on you at this time.
Okay, excellent.
So, yeah, you can go for it.
Excellent. I would like to punch him in the face. What is that? What is that? Is that a D20 plus my strength?
Plus your strength. Fire.
Alrighty, so it's +7, so I'm just going to roll a D20. Okay, 7. Or 4. I think I missed both of those.
Yeah, you missed both of those.
Yeah. Okay, that's first attack. Second attack.
Second attack.
Gonna try again. 5. I'm not rolling well tonight.
7 is a 12.
Yeah, or 14. That's a bit better.
So 21.
Yeah.
Right. With the second one, you do manage to hit.
I would like to smite it as well.
Okay, go ahead.
So what is my damage for unarmed strike?
Wait, no. We cleared this up before.
No, we did clear this up, and I can smite my fists. We have cleared this up, and I can smite my fists.
Alright, fine. Okay, fine. So go ahead and smite it.
Excellent. Level 3.
Sorry, guys.
She went on about a great length about that particular victory, so take it from
19.
me.
Okay, alright. You pummel your fist in, and you actually cave in his face. The 4 points of health that he had left have been just decimated by that smiting.
Excellent.
Mighty smite.
Kill.
I'm going to roll out the tunnel.
Okay. You stumble off of him. His body is still just kind of moving with the tunnel. Up. Plop. Plop.
I'm a bit out of breath.
You can investigate his room and the area behind. You can see that it's a very basic, simple room. But
Investigate the werewolf.
you can. What do you want to learn about the werewolf?
I just want to see if it's carrying anything.
No, it's just the wolf. It's by now, because it's died, it's reverted to its human form, and it is female.
Okay.
But
Don't get any ideas. Anyway, has the fire died down?
the fire has died down.
The human had a bow, didn't he?
A heavy crossbow.
A heavy crossbow. I was going to try and find arrows, basically, that can be reused. Going to scrounge for arrows that can be salvaged.
Yeah, how many arrows have you expended in this battle?
4.
Okay, you get 2 back.
Yay.
Is he still spinning?
Yeah, the body is just up full.
Oh, sorry, isn't Owen falling over?
That's a good point.
Yeah, Owen's probably falling over at this point.
Okay. I'll make a dex save.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You do fall over.
Let's look at my arrows. Do I?
You still get the arrows.
That's the main thing. I don't mind looking like an arse. Let's look at my arrows, but...
Do we have light still?
What?
Do we have light? Has it gone out again?
The fire has gone out and you haven't cast light since, so it's dark.
Okay. Can Aaron fly over again? And he's going to attempt to get on this side and then drag the body out.
You pull it out. You also, by just happenstance, pull Owen out.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I want to try and find a button to turn that bloody thing off.
What bloody...
It's on off.
Okay. There is no button.
Okay. There was no
What? There is no spoon.
No button.
I'm gonna work my way over, and then once I get there, I'll just take. He's got to have a couple heavy crossbow bolts just sitting on him, so I'll replenish my quiver off that.
Yeah, you do. So you can get up to half of your expended bolts or arrows back from the combat, plus Owen and you do find 3 additional arrows each that you can take.
But these would be crossbow bolts, right? I mean, these are ammunition. These aren't arrows. These are
these are bolts. Yeah, these are bolts.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. The room that you're in is a very rough room, very basic, wooden bench, chairs, nothing, not much to it. There's a candlestick on the edge of the bench. That's about it. However, you do catch a glimpse through the doorway that there is a much more ornate room. Unlike the room that you were just in, this place is beautifully decorated. The floor is covered by fine rugs, the walls by quite erotic tapestries and shimmering curtains, the ceiling by a very intricate mosaic depicting a summer sky. No, not mirrors. In the northeast corner, though, you can see a lavishly and largely covered bed, and then a chest, broad oak chest, right next to it.
Owen looks quite exhausted and red in the face and panting even as he goes in, but then he seems to blush even harder when he sees the tapestries. So quickly averts his eyes, embarrassed.
I open the chest.
The chest is locked.
I kick open the chest. I'm not in a good mood.
You kick the chest and hurt your pinky toe. Because the chest is still locked.
Do you need thieves' tools specifically to pick that, or could I use some jeweler's tools or smith's tools to try and mess with that lock?
You can always break the lock off. It's not finesse or anything, but I would do it.
Well, that's how I say with jeweler's tools, could I finesse the lock open?
Yeah, you can give it a try.
All right, let's give that a shot. So what is that? Just a dex plus the proficiency?
It would be D20 plus dex plus proficiency.
Okay, my proficiency is 5, so let's just go ahead and roll the dex and then add 5 to proficiency, so 26 to get it open.
You do use your jeweler's tools. It's not made for this kind of maneuverability, but you do manage to do it, and click. The lock falls off, the chest almost springs open, emitting a stinking cloud.
Oh boy.
On Lael's face. It doesn't do any damage or anything, but now, Lael, you just stink.
Owen covers his nose without trying to be too obvious about it and turns away.
What's in there, Aaron?
7 gems. You look at them and they look approximately 1,300 gold piece worth.
Is there anything else interesting in the room that we can look and see?
The erotic tapestries.
Aaron's going to just have a look around the room to see if there's anything out of place that he can notice.
Not really, no.
At the words erotic tapestries, those eyes just kind of flicker guiltily back up to them, and then he just quickly leaves the room.
It's alright, boy. If you can hang around with us, you'll be seeing a lot of women's bodies. looks at Leo.
Owen pretends not to hear Aaron's remark.
Anyway, what is Aaron talking about? He's never seen Leo naked.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. Only one is Taman and Loic.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
So she shouldn't even have a reputation with him.
Alright, your sister had a reputation.
Yeah, my sister may have a reputation, but I'm not my sister.
All
Well,
right.
don't slag off
What
a
are you
dead
guys
sister.
This tunnel's kind of a little bit of a dead end. You stumble your way back across the spinning tunnel, and you now have back towards the entrance or up through the doors. You make your way up to investigate each of the doors, and you see that they are floodgates. So immediately behind the door is another door, and then behind that one is a third door. But as you're moving closer to it, the air starts to get a little warmer than it's been throughout.
Okay, do we have to open one door and then close it behind us and then open up the next? Is that
No, you can.
we can
push.
open all of them.
Yeah, you can open them all.
Okay. Aaron's going to check each door before he sense of traps. He's always going to try and look at something going.
Can I recommend this thing where we line up by the doors and people who need to be close just hang to the side, and then all the ranged people in the back, and then you push the door open so we can just shoot a bunch of arrows down the hallway if something's in there, and then the melee guys can go in?
Yeah. That's tactical.
Don't normally do practical.
Okay. So Aaron's going to try and buy that last door.
So Owen's going to draw his bow and just ready in action, just in case.
Same here. Gamel's got his crossbow and shoot anything dangerous on the other side.
You push open the door, and it's a little difficult to push, but after a moment you do manage to get it open. And it opens up into the strangest sight. You're effectively in the middle of a lake, but there is a tunnel within the lake that's completely dry all around you, just on the other side of the door. So you step out and you can walk on the floor, and you see that something is holding the lake at bay around you.
So it's all like Moses style?
Think more like you are in a tunnel.
Like an big aquarium type.
Like
Yeah,
a big aquarium.
Moses made a tench. This thing is a tube cutting straight through the water.
Loic. Aaron's going to call for Loic. This is your business. It doesn't seem natural. Have a look.
You're correct.
Wait, guys, I see something.
What do you see, Leo?
Kind of looks like a crab at the far end there. And I think there's a chest.
Very big crab guarding a very big chest.
There's a big crab. Crab? There's a big crab. There's a big crab in there. About 100 feet in.
Make perception checks, everyone. Okay. Aaron and Owen, you can see quite clearly that the tunnel that's holding the water back, and Lael, in fact, as well, sorry, just 23, it's actually a very thin skin, almost like a membrane that is separating you from the liquid. But you look out to the liquid and you can see that it itself is bubbling. The lake that's around the skin is obviously boiling.
So what's up?
Don't shoot.
Don't know what's holding the water back up there, but it doesn't look strong.
What,
Don't
it's actually got a barrier between the tunnel and the water?
There's some sort of skin holding that water back, though.
Okay. Well, we got a drain right behind us. If we want to have someone puncture the hole and...
The water does not look... That water looks boiling.
So everybody not be here. And I happen to have Dimension Door on me today. I might be able to poke it and then bam, back. And you guys will already be there behind the drain. and we can just let the boiling water drain out, and then we can come back and kill the crab. Then eat it, maybe.
Loic, make a intelligence check for me.
Well, there you go.
Hey, Nat 20!
Great, cool. You take a look, you're trying to think of how this would work and get everyone hidden. Maybe you can trigger it and then dimension door out of it. And you take a look and you realize the doors, the 3 doors, are set up in a way that as soon as water starts rushing this way, they'll all close, blocking off the water from passing to the rest of the tunnel.
So what? There's only one choice left, and it's to sneak through?
If you want to get at whatever's in
We
that
can always
chest,
just destroy the doors so that they don't.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to close.
you'd either have to prop open the doors or destroy them.
Owen just looks back and says, "Why that just flood the room behind us?"
That's fine. The drain is beyond the room behind us.
The drain's not going to take all that water. It's going to flood the entire floor.
And that might mean us drowning.
Or boiling to death.
But the drain's back there so that the water won't rise beyond the level of the room behind us.
Yeah, but the water drained at a certain rate. It's not going to take a whole room full of water at once.
Are you talking about the small drain in the one small side room? Because a whole a wall-to-wall corridor of water is you're right. That's probably going to exceed.
This is how. Okay, your sarcasm aside, brainstorming is a thing you do where you work on concepts until it leads somewhere. So these are the things that we have to work with.
Brainstorming in water, very good. That's funny.
We fight the crab.
Storm drain.
Lure it.
Storm drain.
We fight the crab, lure it away from the scary thin skin into a room where we won't kill ourselves if we accidentally hit it.
As long as we're careful, there won't be a problem.
Is the crab in the tunnel?
No, the
I
crab.
saw a crab inside the skin, so it's inside the tunnel.
Oh, I thought it was outside, and by catching its attention, it would break the skin, and then we'd all die.
This thing's got to have some self-preservation to it. It's not going to want to boil in, or we'll be having crab tonight.
Yes.
Owen
Maybe I
knocks
can talk to it.
Owen knocks an arrow and says, "I try and get its attention like this, but I don't think I can see that far."
No, don't shoot anything in there. If you miss, you'll punch the membrane.
He nods.
Maybe just...
I can talk with animals.
Go speak
Maybe
to
we can parlay.
Go speak to the crab then.
You can talk with animals.
Lure it forward, away from the thin skin, and then we kill it. We take its legs. We will have crab legs. I think Alust has some butter.
Or just 2 of us go in there. The rest of you stay out. One of us accompanies Loic. And
Why?
because you've got dimension door, and if it goes south, you can bamf them out of there.
I remember that plan not going so well last time.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit reluctant to mention it. But I don't think a crab's going to incinerate anybody. I hope not, anyway. Or we just don't do any shooting and we stay away from the walls.
How big is the crab, Lael?
Looks a bit huge. We're gonna eat really well tonight.
It's like
So
it would
when-
just about not be able to fit through the door.
Okay, yeah, that was what I was trying to get at.
Oh, we can't.
Well illustrated.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna try to befriend the crab.
Okay, so you're stepping into the area a little bit. You can feel your feet pushing against the membrane. It's slow going at first to feel comfortable walking on it, but you do step a little bit quicker. You can see at the end of the tunnel the membrane opens up and there is stood guard over this very big hoard of treasure is a huge giant crab.
When I get within 30 feet, I'm going to attempt to cast Animal Friendship. And then I will continue walking in.
Good thing it's a beast.
I wasn't sure. I was like, I wouldn't know whether or not it was, so I'm just going to cast it and see what happens.
It's a good try. Alright, so otherwise beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. It got a 15. What's your DC?
It ought to be higher than that. 16.
16. Okay. You see that as you're stepping in, the giant crab is starting to step up and clap its claws at you, but then it calms down, puts its hands back, eyes looking out.
Owen's just going to approach cautiously, just staring around in wonder at everything. He says,
So, now Taman casts Speak with Animals.
Hold Owen back a bit. Don't get too close by that. Tame and do his thing.
So what are you trying to do with the Speak with Animals? You going to talk to it?
Indeed. And I say, hello, friendly crab.
What does a crab sound like?
Dr. Zoidberg.
I second the Zoidberg.
I don't think I can do a good Zoidberg. But it does clap its hands at you. Hello.
What is this crazy sphere that we find ourselves in? Do you know anything about this?
Oh, it just keeps the water back.
What are you doing in here? How did you get inside the sphere?
Clacker, protect, chest.
So Taman points at the chest. Oh, that chest. Why do you have to protect that chest?
Protect, chest.
Let's ask it if we can take the chest if it wants to come with us.
Why do you feel you have to protect the chest?
I have to protect it.
Ask if we can borrow it, Owen quietly suggests.
Ask it if it wants to protect it. If we can just take it outside it and carry on protecting it.
This membrane that's holding the water back, does it look, dangerous to you? Like it could break at any time, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't poke it.
We will. Well, we're definitely not going to poke the membrane. But I think that the chest really isn't very safe in here. I mean, if the water came through, it would destroy the chest, right?
Water back.
I agree. The water is very bad. So how about, as your friend, what if we took the chest out of the bad water and brought it in to the safety within behind us? What do you say to that, friend?
You keep chests safe.
Yeah.
That's
no,
exactly what I'm suggesting. And Taman
Only a persuasion check.
Taman says a prayer real quick, and he gives himself some guidance. This is so good at charisma-based things.
Bless.
You not save chest. You steal chest. He's the only one that can do it. No one can give him advantage on it.
I'm not trying to make it look like we're really nice people.
What? You steal chest. No.
Come on, we're friends. I wouldn't steal the chest from you.
He can take the chest out. We will.
Tell me more. Tell me more about your origin. I'm interested in your backstory.
I born here. I protect chest.
Hey, what do I know about crabs' sense of hearing? Do they have a particularly good one? I personally don't think that they do. Right?
No, they don't. It wasn't for the fact that Taman was using Speak with Animals, it wouldn't communicate at all.
I'm just going to move off to the side a little bit over here. Have you protected this chest from other people coming in here?
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like?
Eat.
Aaron, I can turn invisible and then go best to be in here while I do it.
Gotcha. Why did you whisper it? I don't mind now.
The statement's right there. And if this goes wrong, if the crab turns around and finds the chest missing, he's gonna attack Tame.
Can't you talk to me in your mind?
Last time I tried, it didn't go very well.
Okay.
Wizard stuff. No time to talk right now. Can you get Taman to leave?
Yeah. Taman?
I'm gonna go invisible before he does speak up, and not do it within the crab's line of sight.
Owen, head back to the door. Taman?
Right.
He obviously doesn't want to. I'm going to kind of like give him like we've got a plan. He obviously doesn't want to give up the chest. We're just going to leave. You want to tell him that? We're friendly. We just want to look after it. He can have the chest. We're going to go.
Okay. Mr. Crab, it was nice meeting you. I was just offering a friendly service. But you're clearly a very capable guardian of the chest. So I will leave you to your duty. You carry on.
I protect the chest. You're invisible, Loic?
Yeah, that's the little indicator.
Owen's just going to murmur as he walks past Lael. He's just going to mumble, "That was the strangest thing I've ever seen."
As Taman's moving away, it can't see Loic. It's going to start moving ever so slowly closer behind Taman.
David's going to turn around. Oh, Mr. Crab, was there something else you wanted to say?
We're friends, right?
Yeah.
Friends talk.
We do.
Friends shake hands. And it lifts up its claw and it just claws at you.
Taman grabs out his hand for a handshake.
It goes to attack you. It is properly violent against you. You kind of get an idea that maybe it wasn't charmed after all, and it's going in for another attack. With a 21, is that going to hit you?
It does not.
Does not? Okay. It's just snapping at you right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and touch the chest and dimension door out. All the way out, past the floodgates.
You gather up everything that you have in there and just bamf out. Taman, this is a extremely volatile and angry beast in front of you.
I will disengage and use my movement to get out of what I perceive as a choke point where it can't go any further and also can't reach me.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my bow and I'm going to shout for everybody to back off.
Don't shoot, we still might break the membrane.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want you to close the door.
It's trying to reach through the doorway that it can't fit through anymore, just snapping away at you all.
Oh, he can't get through. Oh, he's fine.
So, Loic suddenly appears next to Owen with a big, heavy chest in his hands.
Just rushes, "Yeah, let me help you with that."
Thanks.
Right. After everybody passed, and I'll start closing doors. Yeah.
I want to try to figure out why the crab is attacking me. I thought we were buddies.
The why is condition immunity charmed, and my note that says crab is intelligent and will attempt to lure someone in for an attack.
Interesting.
I think there was something up with that crab.
We don't want crab for dinner.
Not bad enough to risk being boiled alive ourselves.
Fair enough.
Yo, crab. Chest is gone. I'm going to try to get through. Close.
What a dick.
You're closing the door behind it. It's just snapping away. You can still hear the snap, snap, snap of its claws. It's not happy, but you'll never know what becomes of Loic. You open up the chest, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. With mage hand. Always chest with Mage Hand?
The chest is not trapped at all. It's not blocked or anything. You all see inside of it is a quite nice assortment of objects. In particular, and I'm just going to be throwing handouts to you all so that you can see them. A pair of goggles of night. Loic, aside from the trident and all of the coins that are in there, you do also notice a small cat head-shaped figurine.
Ooh.
Lastly, the trident wave. Show that to everyone as well. Well, actually, no, I won't give you guys anything about wave until you have identified or spent time with it. Okay?
How much coin?
So in coin, you get 1,000 gold pieces.
Goes in the bag of holding for the time being. Everybody's happy with that? We'll divvy it out there.
Taman chucks the tiara and the other 600 gold in there as well.
So, we're okay giving the goggles of night to Owen?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Owen just sort of holds these goggles reverently, kind of confused. He's never really seen a contraption like this before. So he's sure he can figure out what to do.
It just clears up your view quite well.
He's just like, wow. And he immediately slips them on. So
I'm gonna go ahead and touch that trident.
Okay. The moment you touch it, you hear a voice in your mind. Quite soft one. Are you a worshipper of the sea?
No, but it is not my hands that you will find your destiny in either.
So,
I
like, who are you talking to?
Messenger. The trident is sentient.
Right. Maybe we should get it and Dawnbringer chatting.
Make a weapon baby.
Ooh.
Not a mix. But when you're holding onto wave, you just get this immense feel of energy and power from within. You don't sense that it's turning you away for the fact that you don't worship the sea, but you do get an immediate sense that this thing wants to aid any of those that have aquatic purposes.
And it should sense back from me that I don't intend to wield it like its wielder should. This will be just a mutual carrying situation. Okay.
Okay, anyway. So what are you guys doing? You now have this large trident in Loic's hands. You've obviously got one of the 3 items. Are you going to...
Head back to the crossroad.
Okay. Then as you make your way back to the crossroad, you know the traps that are there. It's not much. It's just the big tunnel of water, big room of water. It doesn't take you long to get across and back over there. Loic, while you are holding wave while you're walking through?
Yeah.
Okay. You notice that the water just recedes immediately from around you while you're holding wave, so you can walk on the stone without getting wet at all.
I compliment the trident.
let's go back and kill the crab.
End the session there.
Okay.
Right? So that's a good point. Third of the way through. Maybe we can finish off the rest of the 2 next week or the week after. Who knows?
Let's go and take the trident and kill the crab, now that we can hold the water back.
Well, congratulations, you got one of the 3 items. And everyone gets 2,000 XP.
Sweet.
Sweet.
That is going to put you level 1 characters up to level 3.
So close. So close.
So,
Ty, you were marking our loot off in the bag of holding?
Yeah, I've got... have we still got that group gold collection thing? I haven't put it up on that sheet, but you're marking it down manually. I can add it on there.
I don't have the group gold sheet anymore. I'll create a party inventory.
I've written it down, so there's no rush to it, mate. If you don't want to do it, I'll catch up on it. As long as we got 600 gold from the door,
Yep.
plus the tiara, which was worth 2,000 gold pieces. The chainmail, which Owen's got,
Yep.
Then we got another 1,000 gold pieces from the chest.
Yep.
And then we got
Gems.
7 gems worth 1,300.
7 gems worth how much? 1,300.
Yeah.
I think Gamil picked those up. I don't know if he's dropping stuff into our community pool.
Probably would have.
And we've also got Wave, which Lurk is currently assessing. We've also got the pendant, cat pendant, which...
Yep, Stone of Good Luck. And Goggles of Night, which Owen has.
Okay. Does anybody want to have a look at the Stone of Good Luck?
What does it do?
So, the case of this item, I would say it's something that you could learn its property from practicing with it over the course of a short rest, but you would have to attune to it as well. You would get
Which is another short rest to attune to it, isn't
No, it would be part of this short rest.
Oh, okay.
So you could do that all, you attune to it, and that's where you learn its capabilities. Okay? If you want to do it, you can do it, but you're pretty much maxed out on tuning items, right?
No, I'm not, because I've still got a slot free because I gave one of my magic items that I was attuned to as my wedding ring. So, the engagement ring even. But I wasn't talking for myself. We've got 3 characters out there that have got nothing. I was wondering if one of them wanted to investigate it.
Yeah, so you guys should be able to see the handouts now permanently. There'll be links within the journal. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to message me. Otherwise, I'm going to go to bed. Good session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I solved a riddle.
Very quick.
You did? I was looking at
That's very good. It was very quick, not even a dropped beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the voice.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna milk this for all it's worth. Until next time.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Good night. Take care.